All right, it's time to learn about a new saint. But before we do that, we're going to review the ones we've already learned about. Okay? So, the first one we talked about was Saint Teresa of Calcutta. She helped the poor and the sick in India. Saint Mary, Jesus' mother. We drew flowers because Mary loves flowers. Saint Matthew, one of Jesus's apostles, right, and his friend. He wrote the first gospel, which is a part of the Bible. Saint Jerome translated the Bible from one language to another language. Saint Francis of Assisi loved God's creation, especially the animals. Saint Faustina, she was visited by Jesus and was asked to be an example of mercy to others, right? And she taught us how to do that. Saint Teresa of Avila was cured from her headaches through prayer, and she wrote many books and taught people about prayer. Saint Luke, he wrote the story of Jesus's birth, when Jesus was born, and he wrote one of the Gospels also. Saint Pope John Paul II, he was the Pope, which is the leader of the church, and he loved the youth and the children. Saint Therese of Lisieux, she was a young girl, and she wanted to become a nun, right? And every little thing that she did it because she loved God and she loved Jesus. So she said, we can all do little things for God's kingdom, and she's our special saint for TK. Today, we've got a guy named Saint Martin de Porres. So we're going to read about him in our book. Saint Martin de Porres, a beggar for justice. This is the story about a very kind man a very kind boy named Martin de Porres. He lived in a country called Peru, in a country in South America. Little Martin had brown eyes and dark skin, just like his mother. His father, a Spanish soldier, moved away when Martin was young. Life was not easy for Martin. Children laughed at him because of his dark skin. He did not have lots of toys or lots of clothes, and sometimes he went to bed hungry. So it sounds like he has a little bit of a hard life. But instead of being sad, Martin was cheerful. And instead of being mad at people, he was helpful and he was kind. He prayed every day. Martin loved God with all his heart. One day, Martin's mother sent him to the market. He bought bread and potatoes, and Martin put the food in his basket and began to run home. When he saw a beggar on the side of the road, he stopped. So a beggar is somebody that's very poor and asking other people for food or for money. So the beggar looked hungry. Here, take this, Martin said with a smile, and he gave all the food to the poor man. So even though he needed it and he bought it for himself and his family, he knew that this person was more hungry than he was. So he gave it to him. When Martin was only 12 years old, he worked with a doctor. Martin learned how to make medicine from herbs. He learned how to help people with fevers, rash, and broken bones. And helping sick people made Martin very happy. So he's only 12 years old when he's learning how to treat people. Praying also made Martin very happy. He liked going to church and he loved God very much. Martin joined the Dominican order as a lay helper. Lay helpers are not priests. They serve God in other ways. Martin was a hard worker and had many jobs at the monastery where he lived. He swept the floors, fed the animals, and worked in the garden. Each day was filled with work and prayer. The Dominican brothers saw that Martin was holy and good. Martin, we want you to become a brother. So Martin made his vows and he was called Brother Martin. Brother Martin worked in the infirmary at the monastery. An infirmary is a small hospital. He talked to each patient. "Good morning, how are you feeling today?" Then he would also pray with them. Brother Martin helped people feel better. Brother Martin opened an orphanage and a hospital. He gave out food and supplies to people in the city. He cared for the slaves from Africa. And when the Dominican order needed money, Brother Martin would beg in the streets. So when his order of priests needed money, he would go out in the street and ask for money. So he became a beggar also. He planted fig, olive, and orange trees. The trees grew and grew, and Brother Martin taught people how to care for them. "Now you will have good food to eat," he said, "because you've planted it." Brother Martin loved all of God's creatures. He even started a hospital for animals. A story is told how Brother Martin helped some hungry mice living in the monastery. The mice were chewing holes in the blankets. Uh-oh. "Please stop chewing our blankets. Meet me in the garden and I will feed you," he told the mice. Then every day he would feed the little creatures, and the mice did not return inside the monastery, and they did not eat the blankets anymore. Everyone loved Brother Martin. His heart was full of love for all the people and races. He felt that everyone were his brothers and sisters. One day, Brother Martin got very sick. He had a high fever and was very tired. The Dominican brothers came to his room to pray with him, and he told them, "I will pray for you in heaven." They cried when he died, and Jesus was there to meet him when he had to go to heaven. Many important people came to Brother Martin's funeral. They wanted to say goodbye to this holy and kind man. They called him Martin of Charity. His whole life had been a gift to others. Brother Martin believed in helping others. All people are our sisters and brothers. It says, "Dear God, I love you. St. Martin de Porres loved you too. He loved all people and was very kind. Help me to be loving and kind also. Amen." That's a good prayer to say. We always want to be loving and kind, right? And God's happy when we're loving and kind. Our parents are happy when we're loving and kind. Our grandparents are happy when we're loving and kind. Our brothers and sisters are happy, right? So being loving and kind is a good thing to ask God to help us to be. So today we're going to color him how he looked, all right? So I'm noticing he's got like a black thing on and then kind of like a yellow. So first I'm going to use my black. And he had black hair. So I'm going to color his hair black. And I'm going to stick with my black and I'm going to color the parts of his clothes that were black. So this thing around his neck. Now Martin was a priest. He was called a Dominican brother. And this is what they wore. Or they do wear it. If you were to see a Dominican brother, they would be wearing something just like Martin wore. There we go. Then we're gonna do his halo. Right. Then I'm gonna do his robe. I'm not gonna use my yellow marker because it's a little bit lighter. If you're noticing, it's lighter. So I'm gonna use just my kind of yellowish crayon. There we go. And then his skin was darker, right? So I'm gonna use my brown crayon and I'm gonna make his skin. And then you can give him whatever kind of shoes you want. And then we'll trace his letters. Remember, ST is a short way to write the word saint. Saint, and then Martin. de Porres. And his special day is actually November 3rd, which is today. And we're not going to draw anything with him today. We're just going to leave him like that. There we go. Press pause if you need to finish.